Hey guys, welcome back to the Chaotic Kids channel, where I'm Shell to document my life here on YouTube as I try to become a full-time author while also traversing the world's multiple personalities. If that sounds interesting to you, stick around, but today we are going to take a little bit of a pause from working on my Christian fiction young adult story, and we are going to be working on two of my other projects that need some time in the sun too. So let's get into it. Hey guys, today is December 7th. This is like my 15th time of recording this because I keep saying things that I shouldn't say. Anywho, so today and tomorrow we are going to be working on different projects besides the young adult Christian fiction book that Grace is working on. That is under the pen name, under the work in progress title of like JJ's story. We are actually going to be working on another Grace pen name book series, which is going to be a picture book series that involves different Catholic saints and kind of like us retelling their story of their lives, but in a different, almost poetic sense. And then tomorrow is going to be working on Shelley's books, which Shelley does the middle grade children's chapter books up there that are written for our nephew. That's kind of the game plan for the next 2 days. And then hopefully on Tuesday, we then get back into working on JJ's project. We're mostly doing this just kind of giving us, like, an idea, like, just giving us some more, like it's us writing in different projects fills our creative well, rather than just solely focusing on one project, if that makes sense. Like, if we focus on one project, we feel like all of our energy is going into that one project and it depletes it. But if we work on multiple different projects, it fills everybody else's creative wells. Does that make sense? And like with us, we have somebody who has multiple alters. That's why we write in multiple different genres and different pen names. But it's also just like, I don't know, I feel like the way we fill our creative well is different from others, just because we are built different, and everyone is built different, so that's why everyone's creative wells get filled differently. But yeah, so it's quite interesting. I say that a lot anymore. But so yeah, we're working on the picture books. Today I'm going to be working on kind of getting reacquainted with Carlo Acutis's one that we have written. It's about 545 words long, I think. I don't entirely know. We're just planning on doing, like, little simple things. Well, I say simple things, but, like, little reading it. Maybe changing some grammar, maybe changing a few words. I don't know. We haven't even, like, we're eventually going to, so, before we get back into what we're working on today. The way that we are planning on working on, like, getting these books out there in the world, so Shelley's books are self-published. They're probably always going to be self-published until we get, like, maybe a publishing house that wants to publish them or, like, get picked up by a publishing house. But we primarily want Shelley's books to gain traction as they get, like, we want to, or I don't know if organically, but, like, Shelley wants her books to gain fame as just because of their project rather than based on their publishing house. If that makes sense. Like, I don't know. Like, that also seems weird, but, like, I feel, like, in our mind, some publishing houses, like, if, say, like, we got picked up by the Big Five, like, they get looked at differently rather than those that are self-published, if that makes sense. So we want Shelley's books to be, like, growing confidence, kind of as us as an author. I don't know. We want that to be something we rise up from the ground, mostly because that is something that we are working on with our nieces and nephews. So it's like the story of Shelley is like basically growing with our nieces and nephews and showing them that, like, you can start with nothing and you can become successful. And ideally would like that to be with money, but, you know, also, like, we've got 16 books in that series. We have not finished. We have got six books published, Haven't done the next 8 books in that series, but like we are becoming successful in that book series. And then there's Grace's pen name, which Grace is wanting to do traditional publishing, or at least a Catholic publishing house. And her beliefs on publishing houses is different than Shelley's. And, like, this is just how different, like, this is how distinct each one of our alters are. It's, like, based on how they believe, like, in different circumstances. But so Grace wants to get a Catholic publishing house to pick up her books, and then traditionally sell them. And then with that, she wants to start more of a ministry rather than just a family-owned business kind of style, if that makes sense. Yeah, that's kind of how it is. And then there's Maris, who I'm not really sure what we're planning on doing with Maris's, just because Maris right now is like, there's so many voices / alters that make up the Maris system. Because Maris, I feel like, is a system within a system. Like, I would say, like, if I were to look at Maris, like, if I was to look at her physically, if I were allowed to look at her physically, like, she is like a swirling galaxy that's in the form of a person. That sounds weird to say, but, like, she's got all these ideas that she's just swirling around, and, like, she needs to kind of get centered, but also, I don't know, like, needs to process who she is first. I think that's how I want to word it. I'm not entirely sure. But, like, she's kind of more of a swirling vortex of who she is, rather than Shelley, who I don't think I've ever actually noticed what Shelley looks like, which is probably something we need to work on. But Shelley is, like, one single person who cares about her family. Not saying that not everybody cares about her family, like, everybody cares about their family, but Shelley just is more grounded in the family root. And then Grace is more like modern day Catholic. I don't know if that's how I want to word it, but, like, she's just, the way she presents is different than everybody else. Does that make sense? I don't know. Actually, physically, like, I just learned what Grace and one of our other Catholic people in our system looks like. And it's just fascinating how they have this similar beliefs, and, like, they still believe in God. But the way that they dress is completely different. And, like, it's just all super fascinating and stuff. But yeah, so anyways, we're working on Grace's books today. We are wanting to retouch up Carlo Acutis's story. We might watch a few videos about Carlos Acutis just to get kind of, like, back into his story, and then we'll work on St. Francis of Assisi, which I think we have, like, 100 or 200 words written in that. Then if we have time, we will work on St. Maria Goretti. Yeah, that's kind of the game plan. I also learned that with each book that we get, like, each picture book that we get done, so on this necklace, we have different, like, miraculous medals. This was just the one that came with the necklace. I don't even know what it is exactly. I just know it's a cross and has different medals kind of on it. But this is the miraculous of the Virgin Mary. And so what we would ideally like to do is get a miraculous medal for each one of, well, I don't think it's called miraculous medal, but a medal for each of the saints that we eventually do. And so then, ideally, this whole thing will become miraculous medals or medals of different saints. And real quick, with Grace, I visually see, like, the one aspect that really catches my eye with her is on her left arm, she has, like, a wrapping bracelet that has all the saints she wants to do on it. And the reason she has it on her wrist, or, like, on her arm, is because, well, she is a lefty. But also she has it on her arm because that is what is almost most important to her. Like, not necessarily the most important, but, like, her arms and her her hands are written works, like, this is the way she spreads the words of God, if that makes sense. While a different altar is more of an interpersonal altar who does things by the heart, if that makes sense. Like, I don't know. It's just fascinating. But yeah, so we're gonna get started working. We also need to go to our brother's today and clean his house. We need to do that probably, we're gonna do that probably after we eat lunch. And we might eat a late lunch. I don't know. We need to work. So we'll see you guys later, okay? Bye. Hey guys, so it is about 12:30 right now. Did not realize what time it was when I was writing, but I just got done doing my second little picture book. And these picture books are not really meant just for kids. They're meant for everyone. I just like the idea of having pictures in it. And man, these picture books, these stories that I'm like, they're not necessarily stories, but the way that I write these retellings of these people's lives, like, it is so inspiring for me. Like, I'm like, yes, this is true. This is the way of God and stuff. Sorry, this is gonna be a little more preacher than usual, but like, I usually don't come out. But also, like, it's so inspiring, and like, I have this notebook here. This is one that I'm pretty sure I got from a Catholic shop that I used to go to all the time, and now has a new owner, so I don't go to a lot. But this one, it just happens to be the notebook that I pick out. I have a notebook for each different project, and I honestly, like, I'm writing in this as if this is, what I'm, like, I've had this, I can see this clear visual, setup of, like, I go to Catholic schools and I preach these, like, not preach, but I, like, bring all my books with me and being like, okay, guys, what saint do you guys want to learn about? And being like, say we do, like, a Carlo Acutis saint. I, like, Carlo Acutis as the saint. I, like, read the book to them, or I read some quotes from him and be like, at the end of the day, like, how, like, being like, he was a 15-year-old boy who did this. And, like, it kind of making it relatable for each, like, being like, sorry, I can't think words, but really showing, like, how an ordinary person, like Carlo Acutis, who was 15, then St. Francis of Assisi, who at first lived a lavish lifestyle, but he decided to completely change his life as he renounced his name and thus became the saint we all know. And, like, all these things that I'm just like, could you imagine doing that kind of thing? But yeah, I'm having so much fun. I absolutely love it. But I do have to go, I need to eat something because I'm starting to realize that I'm hungry. But also I need to go clean my brother's house, because he does need to pay me. But I'm just like, I'm having so much fun. And, like, as I do this, like, with each book, as I start really getting into it, I see the future of what this book can hold. And, like, what the art of Shelley or Grace can do. And, like, I truly see myself in Catholic schools being like, this is this topic I want to bring up to you guys. And yes, if I do go to Catholic schools, like, I would also want to show them off Shelley, but, like, I feel like Shelley's books are more, I don't know how to put this. I feel like Shelley's books are more public school books, while Catholic schools are more Catholic-based schools, but I could be wrong. I don't know. Maybe due to class visits, you know? But I absolutely love it. And, like, I'm honestly, like, I want to do so many school visits in my lifetime, to inspire kids to read, write, and fall in love with their word, like, fall in love with the art of creation. Because, you know, this, like, what I do is truly so inspiring. Like, if you were to look at me, like, I look like an everyday person, you know? And as you hear my story, like, someone who has multiple personalities, somebody who is on disability because of something that they can't control, someone who lost their job because of something they can't control, like, every step of the way, like, learning that I come from a huge family and how my family was more of a traditional family rather than a creative family, and, like, learning that I came from a small town where, like, everyone pretty much did the same thing, you know? Like, you learn this, and then like, there's me at the end of the day, like, being like, like, everyone is different, and then seeing, like, the typical, like, this, and being like, I I came from a slightly privileged life, and being like, but as I grew up, I became more of myself, Like, instead of living in, like, the boundaries that my parents put on me, I lived up to something greater. And getting to see, like, I am a regular person doing something that I love, getting to inspiring the next generation, inspiring me to be better than who I am, and getting to, like, see the growth in my nieces and nephews as each book they get to see more and more of their aunt, like, each project that I do really does show a different aspect of myself. And it shows how different I am, like, not how different I am from others, but, like, shows how there's diversity in everyone. You may think based on how someone looks that their story, but at the end of the day, you don't know the true story of someone. Like, there's darkness, there's shadows, there's lights, there's different aspects. And it's just like, that hits so hard, and I'm like, I love what I do. Like, I don't think I usually say that a lot, but, like, I love what I do, and I really, like, doing these Catholic books have been, like, giving me so much vigor and stuff. Um, Sorry, I'm really starting to get hungry, but I'm just like, I I love this. I love this. And, like, I want to inspire everybody to be able to do what they want. Like, if you are wanting to become an author, you don't even have to become an author, but, like, if you want to creatively tell what you want to do, like, if you want to tell stories, if you want to, like, I don't know how to do this, but, like, if you want to become a video game, like, you want to stream video games, like, that can be an art of creation too. Like, you can tell stories with it. You can be an artist, you can be a musician, you can be whatever you want. Just express yourself for who you are, because everyone's gift and everyone's creation is special. And, like, yes, somebody could probably have, like, generative AI, like, write you a picture book about the same, but, like, it doesn't have the same energy as a real person doing it, if that makes sense. Like, a real person will speak the truth about their books and, like, make it more connectable, like, make it more like it's a real story, like, make it more interpersonal, and I'm just like, this is why I do things. This is why I am an author and stuff like that. So I don't even know what this whole rant was about. But I'm going to go to my brother's, come back, and I'm going to work on St. Maria Goretti's book. Picture book / doing research on her and stuff. But, yeah, that's all I got to say. I will see you guys later, okay? Bye! Hey guys, today is December 8th. It is a Monday. Gosh. You want to know what really sucks about not having a job anymore? Is feeling like every day is the exact same thing. Like, I get up at, like, 8 o'clock in the morning, 8:30 in the morning, eat some breakfast, come upstairs and record a clip. And then I write until 11, then I eat, and then I mosey around and do nothing for 3 hours, then at, like, 5, come upstairs again. I just do the same thing every day, and it's getting really repetitive, and it really makes me annoyed. But I'm also like, I need to get onto a schedule of being like, okay, I am doing this from this time to this time. Like, I literally have a, like, ideal day written out, like, what my ideal day would look like, I would get up at 6, and I would go to bed at 8, like, did I take my med this morning? I think so. But, like, I would go for a walk. I would write for 2 hours. I would do social media and marketing. I would have family time. I would then go back to work and stuff like that. I'm just like, I have terrible, like, time management right now, and it really irks me. But I'm also like, I'm, like, mildly going through depression just because I lost my job, not necessarily because of the whole winters thing. But I'm also, like, I'm always going through depression, like, I always have days where I just don't want to do anything, And I need to stop beating myself up about it because, like, I can't help it. But also at the same time, I'm like, maybe I can help it, you know? Like, but then again, I also, like, this morning, I woke up to the worst dream. Like, I was already sort of waking up, and the way the dream ended was so devastating to me. Because it was like my family was, like, all my family, like, even my extended family was ganging up on me, and I was like, I just wanted to end it. So for some reason, I was outside and I crawled under a vehicle, and then I think it was my brother-in-law found me. I don't even know. It was such a weird dream. And I was like, I don't know. It made me really hesitant to get up because I was like, sometimes this is just me being mildly chaotic and my brain wanting to go on little not necessarily tangents, but going down rabbit holes. But I'm like, sometimes my dreams feel so real that they are they feel so real that they happen and stuff, and I'm like, I don't think that'll happen, but it just set me off. So today's probably not going to be a good day, but I'm going to try to make it a good day. Because you know what? I'm not going to let a dream that, who knows why it happened, you know? Like, dreams just happen. So I'm going to enjoy the day. Yes, I'm going to enjoy the day. But so today, so real quick, yesterday, I wrote St. Carlo Acutis's and St. Francis of Assisi's books, picture books. I also believe I told you, like, my game plan for eventually when those get published is to do school visits with them, and then eventually have, each class being like, okay, so which saint are we going to talk about today? This is kind of a little life story, and then we will then go into, quotes from them and stuff. That also makes me wonder, do I want to become a religion teacher when I get older? But once I have more books under my belt and I feel like I'm stable enough to be able to do it. I don't know, that'd be interesting. But so I wrote 626 words. I think that's the right one. Yeah. 626 words, which is pretty good. Also did a little bit of journaling. The journaling wasn't the best, but not every journaling session is going to be awesome. And then, so today my goal is to read the first 2 books of Bugztopia, and do some not brainstorming, but also do some, note-taking on it, I think is the best way to describe it. So the first one I'm reading is Bugztopia PD, The Attack on A&T Hill. You can go pick, I'm just going to say this, I don't usually like trying to sell stuff, but if you want to go pick these up, they are available on Amazon and all available platforms. Paperbacks are $9.99. Ebooks, the first one is 99 cents. Then the rest of the books are $2.99. Sorry, I am blanking out on words today. But so I'm going to be reading book 1, The Attack on A&T Hill, so this one. And then book 2, The Research of Ants. I am so not here right now. But so those are the game plan for the day. I'm going to read those 2 books. I'm going to take notes. I have a document started where I am going to pretty much be writing and trying to fill up any plot holes that I've been writing about and stuff like that. Yeah. Honestly, I feel like the first 6 books are pretty good. I'm mostly doing this to eventually get to the second season of the books. So 7 through 14. And then hopefully that will help me write the rest of season 3. So books 16 through whenever it ends. Yeah. Like I said, I'm not fully here, but we're going to do it. We're going to do it. So I'll see you guys later, okay? Bye. Okay, guys, it is 2 o'clock. I literally just got done reading Bugztopia. I make it sound like I've been reading it for the whole morning. I haven't. I honestly, after I got done recording that clip, I was like, I don't have any want, need, or desire to do anything. So I laid in bed watching watching YouTube. Yeah, and I just did that all day. But I'm now sitting here doing some work. I'm at least gonna do some work. My some work is at least reading book one. So I am ready to read book two. But I still don't feel like doing anything, so I'm gonna watch a little more YouTube. And then do that. I did like like I say outline or like a chapter breakdown of each chapter in book one. Um, Super basic, like this happens, this happens. Well, it's like this, comma, this, and this kind of happens. Yeah, and I also like realized, like, I don't know how well you guys will be able to tell. Hold on, let me see. You guys won't be able to tell. But I am like rubbing off the mattness of this, if that makes sense. Like, I've been using this copy so much that instead of it being solid matte now, like matte when it was first here, it's starting to turn glossy. Like if you can see like those shining spots, I'm turning it glossy, and I just find that funny. I think I got this copy from Ingram. I think. Yeah, this one came from Ingram. Just find the whole thing's kind of funny. But I've had this copy for, well, I guess, I don't know. I've only had it for like 6 months, I think. No, maybe almost a year. Um, but this is the book that I use the most often, so it makes sense why this one is kind of doing it. Because like I'm dropping stuff. If you look at book two, it's not nearly like, okay, so there is some bad spots, but also it's always like the books are always stacked up like this on my desk, so it makes sense and stuff. But yeah, so I'm gonna go back to watching some YouTube and then do like a quick scan slash read through of book two. Basically, that's all. I don't really have much energy today. So yeah, that's all I gotta say. I will see you guys later. Bye. Hey guys, today is December 9th. It is a Tuesday. I just got done reading book two, Bugztopia. I took some notes. Honestly, did I read it? No. Did I particularly like enjoy, but like did I actually enjoy reading it and like actually feeling like I got something out of it? No. But I've also read it like 15 times at this point. But also like I've been going through a rough patch. I don't know. Like the last 2 days, I've spent most of my day laying in bed under the blankets because A, it's cold, and B, I'm just like, I don't have any desire to do anything. But hopefully after therapy today, I'll feel a little more motivated because I've been just having some feelings and some thoughts lately that I just need to work out through my therapist. Yeah. Luxuries of having mental health, but honestly, everyone I think deserves to be in therapy. Like, I don't know, that's just my thought. Like, I feel like everybody should be in therapy. It doesn't have to mean like you have like some serious diagnosis that needs to be dealt with. It's just like, like everybody has issues. Everyone has things to talk about. Um, yeah. But so far this week has been fine. I'm actually going to close out today's video because I've done the two things that I wanted to accomplish, which was to do the read through of these two books, just jotting down some notes, which one is which. And then I did the two picture books of St. Carlo Acutis and then St. Francis of Assisi. I enjoy both of them. Maybe next time I work on that might be at the end of this month. I'm not entirely sure when I'll get back to doing the picture books. It honestly depends on how many chapters of Grace's story I can get done. So the young adult story that I'm working on, wanting to get 6 or 7 chapters done per month on that book, and then hopefully by like August be done with the book, have it sent to my editor and stuff like that, and then be querying it in December kind of thing. I don't know. I just have a lot of plans, and I'm sorry if I don't sound happy. I'm not happy. I'm just tired and bored. Yeah, that's kind of all I gotta say. If you guys enjoyed this, I hope you guys did. I know it's been a little lackluster for this one, I feel like. But yeah, that's all I gotta say. Hope you guys all have a good day, and I'll see you guys next time, okay? Bye.